Hello everyone, it's Annika. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a reading vlog, but it is also a reading challenge. I'm going to be letting the screen time of my most used app determine the amount of pages I read per day. I was on TikTok for 4 hours. I knew it. You have to put like the cringe filter out of your mind when you're reading this. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about this, because within the past, I would say month, my screen time has gotten so bad. I actually want to do this video to get me off of my phone. I feel like I waste so much time scrolling on my phone. Once I open TikTok, once I open YouTube, I am locked in. I will be sitting there scrolling for like an hour until I'm like, my brain literally feels tired. I also have a really bad habit that when I get on my phone to like post something for social media or even check emails for work or check my messages, I will somehow end up on a social media app. Also want to say I did get this brilliant idea from Miss Queen Sarah Caroli. She did this on her channel a few weeks ago. I'll link that down below. I had a lot of fun watching it and it made me want to try it out. I'm gonna check my screen time for last Friday and see what my most used app was. I have a very good feeling that every single day it's going to be TikTok, so I just need to break my habit of scrolling on the app. So for last Friday, my most used app was TikTok, and I was on it for an hour and 54 minutes in total. I could have done so much reading during that time. I could have done a million other things, could have worked out, could have done work. This has to be a no judgment zone though, because if I'm sharing my screen time with you guys, you can't judge me. You can't judge me. I already feel bad about it. And the book I'm going to be starting with is The Women by Kristin Hannah. I'm already into this. I started this like 2 days ago and I'm on page 100 exactly. Yeah, this book, I'm ready for it to ruin me. I predict at some point I'm gonna cry because her writing just does that to me. I have been waiting to read this book for the perfect moment where I felt like I was really in the mood for it, and I'm definitely in the mood for it right now. The hour and 54 minutes is going to translate to 114 pages, so we better get to reading. I'm not a very fast reader and it's already 6 p.m. so I assume I'm gonna be reading into the night, but that's what I was planning to do anyways, so it kind of works out. Let's start reading so I can hopefully finish the page count and get off of my phone. I'm gonna throw this over there. We're like 2 minutes into this video and I'm ready to cry. It's 9:30 right now and I have been reading for most of my evening, my afternoon. I don't think I've scrolled once. I watched one YouTube video, but besides that, zero scrolling has happened. And my brain and my eyes and just my mental is thanking me for it. This has also massively showed me how much I can get done with the time that I scroll, which is apparently a lot. I just wanted to talk to you guys about like what I'm thinking about the book so far. The first book I read from her was about a year ago. I read The Nightingale and it was, not being dramatic, actually life-changing. It is one of my favorite books that I have ever read. Let me just say, if you think you don't like historical fiction, if the sound of that is just a turn off to you, I would really encourage you to pick up one of her books. They both tell like the forgotten stories of women's role during very well-known eras, well-known wars. Specifically, The Nightingale is about World War II. This one is about the Vietnam War. In this one, we are told the story of Frankie, and she is a 20-year-old girl from Coronado, California. Her brother gets drafted, or actually enlists, for the Vietnam War, and at the time, the conversation around the war, if you guys remember, was like not honest, transparent, truthful at all what America was like relaying to their citizens. So a lot of people were enlisting in the war because they thought it was for a good purpose. They didn't actually know like the realities of war because the Vietnam War was the first war that was ever televised. So up until that point, they were basically sold a lot of propaganda. And so many men enlist, and her brother is one of them. And she misses him so much while he's gone that she decides to enlist herself as a nurse with the army. So we see Frankie get shipped off to Vietnam as a combat nurse, as a very young, naive 20-year-old girl. And when she gets there, the realities of war are like literally thrown in her face. It's gory, there is men dying everywhere, and she's placed in a hospital where she meets two other women, Barb and Ethel, that end up becoming like best friends to her. They really take her under their wing, and you just see Frankie over the course of the book really turn into someone else. Like, she arrives as this very green 20-year-old girl, and within a year she speaks like a very seasoned woman because she's seen so much death, she's dealt with so much loss. I can't even imagine like the tragedies that those women dealt with. But more than anything, I think following Frankie really gives a picture of like what the war did to her. I feel like Frankie is a real person, and I think in a way like she is a real person. Like, these are real people's stories. I think the whole thing just has me like so amazed by her heroism that I'm just like flying through the pages. I can't believe what she's going through. I can't believe what she's seeing. I feel like I'm literally watching a movie in my mind so vividly that the night that I started this, I read like 50 pages before bed, and I had the craziest dreams that I was a combat nurse being deployed to Vietnam. Right now, she's actually on her 1 week leave because she's like served a full year. They make them go on R&R for a week, so she's in Hawaii, which is really cool. And it's really cool to like read about her in a relaxed state and like a normal state, because I forget that that coexists while like this horrendous war is happening. Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of this challenge. It's actually Sunday. I didn't do yesterday because I was at a training for work for like 7 hours yesterday. I actually started reading this morning. So the screen time we have for today, it's kind of late in the day. It's already like 6 p.m. but I was with a friend all day, so this is just when we're getting around to it. But I honestly plan to read for the rest of the evening, so it's gonna work out anyways. Today's screen time is, again, TikTok was my most used app, and I did it for 3 hours and 12 minutes. So that totals to around 192 pages, which is insane that I spent that much time scrolling on TikTok. The good news is this morning I woke up and I read 72 pages of my book. So I have to read 120 pages right now. Needed the calculator for that because I was not going to be doing that all up here. I'm going to sit down on the couch and just get to it. I am on page 293. I'll stop when I get to page 416, which means we're nearing the end of the book, which is exciting. Frankie is back home in the States, and she's going through this process of adjusting to life back from Vietnam. She is not only underappreciated, but people genuinely like don't believe that girls went to Vietnam, and so they're just not even acknowledging her service, and it's very, very hard for her. So I'm kind of reading about that. She's reacclimating to the world. Let's get to it. Page 362. I knew it. The war just ended and something crazy has happened. It's day 3 of this challenge, and I think the first thing we should do is check what the page count for today is gonna be, because I do have some updates for the book. I think today is a lot, so I'm a little bit nervous. It looks like I'm literally gonna be spending the rest of the day reading. I need to read 240 pages because I was on TikTok last Monday. This is really bad. This is like me admitting I had a problem. I was on TikTok for 4 hours, which is so problematic for so many reasons. If I read for all the amount of time I spent scrolling on my phone, like I would be reading like 100 books a year. We are definitely going to be finishing this book today because I have less than 100 pages left. I was reading till like 10:30 last night, and I did get to page 419, which I was really proud of because yesterday was kind of a long reading day too. I'm on chapter 33. I think I have like maybe 50 pages left. And I am eating this book up. I'm flying through it. The writing is unbelievably good. I have nothing bad to say about Kristin Hannah's writing. I think she writes with such like simplicity but purpose. It's not just like simple elementary type of writing that's really easy to get through, like some romance books, which isn't bad, it's just different. There's like so much meaning and purpose behind it. Like it's so beautiful. I mean, when I read The Nightingale by her, I was literally changed as a reader. So this book is actually divided into 2 parts, and I have enjoyed part 1 significantly more than part 2. Well, not significantly. Like I'm not enjoying part 2. I'm eating it up. I'm loving it. However, it has taken a turn that I was not expecting. So then we get to part 2, and it's really about Frankie's experience coming back home to the US. I guess they were blaming the veterans for like the atrocities of the war. So we really see Frankie experience that. We see a lot of her struggles as a veteran with PTSD and addiction and substance abuse and depression, anxiety, just a lot. It's a lot. I think it brings to light a lot of the struggles the veterans face in a way that maybe we're able to understand a little bit more, because I feel like when you're reading especially Kristin Hannah's books, you can really put yourself in the place of the main character, and she describes it in a way that feels like you're like watching it or like experiencing it with her. So I think it gives me a lot of like great perspective and understanding for people that have gone through this, and I love it for that. The only thing I'm not, I would say, loving about the second part of the book is it's gotten to be very drama-esque. That's kind of what I'm picking up, because it's like anytime something good happens, immediately something bad happens. On the flip side of that is like, I also think that highlights the volatility of recovery for a veteran or for someone that has been to war and served and been deployed and seen such like vile things and has experienced very traumatic things at war. I feel like in that way it is like, it could be kind of accurate, and maybe that's why she did that. I just think that some of the plot points, like it is very drama. It feels like now this has turned more from like a historical fiction to like a historical drama. Still obviously historical fiction, but I don't remember The Nightingale being like this. And so I think I was a little bit surprised, like that was really unexpected, because The Nightingale, though it had those plot twists and those drama points, it was, I think, interwoven into the story. There wasn't too many. I think that's what's happening. She's doing too many plot twists that the shock factor is kind of gone. And I don't really know why she did that. I wonder if she combined like different experiences, obviously, into one storyline. I'm sure she talked to veterans from that time and kind of is telling a lot of different stories through one story. So I don't know if that's why she decided to throw in all these really insane things that have happened to Frankie. It definitely shocks you, but I think at a certain point you're like, okay, I get it. Like it's getting a little predictable that there's gonna be so much shock factor. One thing I will say is this book makes me forget that I'm reading, and I don't check the page number or the page count or anything. Like I'm just reading. For the past 2 days that I've done this, I've actually had to like tell myself to stop. I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm done with my page count for the day. So I could keep reading, and that's how you know a book is really, really, really good. So I am loving it. I am going to basically finish this, and we're gonna have to start another book. One thing about me though is I have a really hard time switching gears from one book to another like directly after each other. I don't know why. It's like I need time to detach myself from this story so I can like jump into another one, because I know I'm gonna miss these characters. I know I'm gonna miss Frankie and Barb and Ethel. I feel emotionally attached to them, like seriously attached to them. yeah. I'm recording because I knew this would make me cry. No way. Nothing like really sad is happening. It's just like emotional seeing like them getting the recognition that they deserve, because I just feel so much for these people that went to war for a country that had not treated them right and didn't treat them right when they came home, like finally getting resolution after basically decades of not even thank yous. Makes me cry because I'm like, holy crap, like people actually like live this reality. Like this is a story of people's lives, it's a story of women's lives, and I'm just like, that is such a hard life. Like I literally don't think I would be able to do that. It's crazy that 58,000 men died and that's not even like the entire death toll, that's just like Americans. I'm so happy with this ending. Some updates. It's much later. It's 10:30 p.m. and I've been reading for most of my day to try and meet this goal. I actually don't even know how many pages I've read, so I'm gonna calculate it right now because I did finish The Women. So I read 47 pages of The Women, and then I started a new book called Enigma, and this was a recommendation to me. It's giving like gothic dark fantasy. So I read like 10 pages, wasn't feeling it. It was reminding me of like the Addams Family, like very peculiar gothic characters. And I feel like this would be better during spooky season, especially because The Women was like heavy in the way the plot line was obviously like very about tragedy. So because this one was heavy, I didn't want something that was then darker, even just in like mood or tone. So read 10 pages of this. Which I am going to count towards our page count. In the mood for fantasy, I just didn't know what type of fantasy, so I picked up the Zodiac Academy because I've heard about this series for years at this point. Didn't think it was something I was super interested in. I also didn't know much about the book, but I was on TikTok and I saw recommendations for, honestly, I don't even remember. I don't know if it was Friends to Lovers. My friend is actually reading the series right now. She's already on book 3, but she was telling me like, don't expect great literature of our generation from this book. And I would have to agree. Before I get into like my thoughts so far on these 100 pages, I am 157 pages in, which means I have 83 pages left, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm gonna finish today's page count. I'm gonna keep reading until I fall asleep, but I am pretty tired and my eyes are tired, so I feel like I completed the goal for today anyways. My screen time was 4 hours and I've definitely been reading for more than 4 hours. So I am very proud of that, and I feel like that honestly fulfills like the goal. I'm here with my official rating for this book, and I think to no one's surprise, I would rate this 5 stars. If I was being really picky, I would give it a 4.75, but I'm not gonna be really picky. Like, if there's one thing that I think we should not take so seriously is 5-star ratings. And I get it, some people are really picky with their 5-star books. To me, and I've always been this kind of reader, if I thoroughly enjoyed a book, if it made me feel things, even if everything about the plot wasn't like perfect in my opinion, I'm gonna give it 5 stars because it gave me that 5-star feeling. It doesn't mean a book is like perfection. I think that's impossible. It lets you join in the heartbreak of all of the consequence of the Vietnam War, and I think that's important because remembering history is important. I love when a book feels important, like it adds something to my life, to my understanding of life. These are the books that really stay with me, that make me feel things, that I like highly recommend to people. I was crying at the end, not because it was like a very, I would say like sad ending like The Nightingale was. It was more so I've just felt like this immense, I don't know, like empathy for what they went through. And the whole point of this book is recognizing that women were there, like they were there too. Moving on, I picked up the Zodiac Academy for some reasons I already told you. I was craving a fantasy. Switching to my phone because my memory card says it's full, which I know it's not, and I would have to go clear it on my laptop, which is in my office. But as I was saying, this is about Darcy and Tori. They basically find out that they are fae and they're not mortals, and they get invited to go back to their realm that they're actually a part of through family connection. So they leave the mortal world and go to this Fae realm and join the Zodiac Academy, and they become students there. So they're like the incoming freshmen, and I will tell you more about it as it goes, but they're basically like thrust into this new reality and this new magical realm that they didn't know they were a part of, but they have like birthright to it. I think the beginning of this is actually the screenwriting for Twitches. It's about two sisters, grew up in the mortal world, never realized they were magical beings. On their 18th birthday, their powers come into activation, and someone from the other realm comes to get them and is like, hey, you are powerful fae, so come with me. They join the Zodiac Academy. That's why I really wanted to read it, is because I was craving like some sort of academia type of thing, and this is giving that. I love a school setting. I don't know why, especially like a magical school setting like Hogwarts. It's just so cozy. Let me just tell you, this writing is, but I say this so lightly and in the best way, it's like so bad it's good. It reminds me of like CW shows I used to watch as a kid, like Teen Wolf. I'm exhausted. Can you tell by my eyes? I've been on my laptop all day and then I read all day, so I'm tired. I actually think I'm gonna call it here because there's no use in me like reading myself. This isn't a 24-hour readathon. Those are the only ones where I willingly put myself in a draining situation. Didn't hit 240, but we did hit 157, which is pretty good. I'm reading like over 100 pages per day, which I never do. I will see you tomorrow for day 4. I'm on page 145. I am loving the school setting of this, like the academy. I don't know what it's reminding me of. However, I will say, reading this directly after Kristin Hannah, the writing is like two opposite ends of the spectrum, and that's okay. They both serve their purpose. I'm just about at page 200 and I have to say, thoroughly enjoying this. I would define this as it's so bad, it's good. You have to put like the cringe filter out of your mind when you're reading this. Like you just have to decide that you're just gonna go with it. You're gonna be part of the cringe. You're gonna be part of the corny story. That's how it's like so good, and I honestly love it for that. I was like looking up TikToks about it, and it seems like everyone has the same thoughts when it comes to this book. Like, why am I still reading this? Why is this addicting? It's like the perfect brain break after reading The Women. It feels very like high stakes. These two sisters, Tori and Darcy, have very high expectations for them in this new realm that they've entered because they come from a royal family line. So it gives like high stakes, serious, but not too much to where it's like feeling dark or any of that. Like it's just good. It's just reminding me of like a 2010s teen drama essentially, but they are older, so this isn't considered YA, which I enjoy because I do have a really hard time connecting with characters when they're like 16. Basically what's happening is Darcy and Tori have joined the Zodiac Academy, and the whole entire concept of this is that there's a lot of different categories within this school. So you are categorized based on your sign, like your zodiac sign, but you're also categorized based on your powers, and the powers are earth, air, fire, and water. And so whichever power you are innately most strong with or gifted with, that is like who you belong to. There's also like different types of like monsters or creatures that you can be, like vampires are involved, and they're all fae. So I feel like it entangles like every kind of magical element, which is actually really fun. That's what I really liked about the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, is I felt like you got so many different fantasy elements within that, because it also involved vampires, but it also involved like immortal fates and mortals, and this kind of reminds me of that in that way. Like it has all of your different fantasy elements, which makes it really, really fun. Everyone is basically giving these sisters a really, really hard time because they just came from the mortal world, whereas everyone in the book has been raised in Solaria. So they're the outcasts, but they're also like two of the most powerful girls in this realm. So everyone's being really jealous, being really mean, giving them a super hard time. And so right now I'm just kind of seeing them like figure it out, get their bearings, and they're learning to use their powers. It's so fun. It is the final day of this challenge. We've made it to day 5. I honest to God don't even know how I've kept up with this. Only answer is that I've been reading massive amounts in the evening, so I'm really proud of myself for that. I just looked at my most used app for last Thursday, and it was TikTok for 1 hour and 48 minutes, which is it's a little bit better, not great. So that is probably like 108 pages. That's what we're reading tonight. It is already 8 p.m. but I've had an insanely long day. If this rolls over to tomorrow, then I'm gonna finish reading the pages tomorrow, but I'm gonna do my best to do it all today. And I am going to be listening to it actually while I make dinner right now. As you guys saw, I downloaded the audiobook and I downloaded the dramatized version, which is really cool. I've never gotten to listen to a dramatized version of a book. Also, I'm like sweating as I film this clip because the AC went out in the master bedroom and all of this area, which is really rough because we're literally in the middle of summer. That's besides the point. It's literally like listening to a movie in your ears, which is really cool. This one I got so excited and it really is living up to my expectations. There's like different voices for every single character. There is background music, there's sound effects. I know, Theo. I'm going right now. I know. I realized I picked 2 pretty long books. Like, they're both over 400 pages. The Zodiac Academy is actually longer than the women. I'm so sorry that there's not like a variety of books in this reading vlog, but I hope you still enjoyed. I'm gonna go cook dinner and listen to some of this, and I will obviously update you. Also, just so you know, the chapters on Audible do not correspond to the chapters in the book, which makes it really hard to find my place when I'm switching back and forth. But that's why it says chapter 6, because you guys are gonna be like, she's lying. I'm not. I ended up finishing the page count for day 5 on my Kindle, and since then it's been like a day or 2 since I finished this video, and I've actually gotten to 90% on the Zodiac Academy. So I know I didn't get to finish it fully in this video, but I do already like pretty much have the rating picked in my head. So as of now, it's sitting at like a 3.25 stars. I feel like it could go up to a 3.5 depending how the ending goes, but I'll put my final rating on Goodreads, which I always have linked down below. I overall like the book. I know this is a 9-part series. The first book, I didn't have super high expectations for it. I figured it would be just set up for the following 8 books, which it really has been, and I've really enjoyed like most of it. The sisters getting to come into their powers, they're kind of exploring this entire new world of Solaria. They are making friends at the Zodiac Academy. There's a few little dangerous scandals going on, so it's definitely building the plot, like something weird is happening, but they're not sure what yet. And then also their interactions with the 4 heirs, and that is Darius, Seth, Caleb, and Max. And honestly, hate their characters right now, can't stand them. They pick on the girls so much, they give the girls so much crap, but I feel like it's setting up for the perfect enemies to lovers, so I get it. I'm excited to see where that goes because there's 4 of them and there's 2 sisters, and I just like wonder where the romance is gonna go and who's with who. So I'm excited for the rest of the series. Also, what was really nice was I left my book at the office. I forgot it on Friday, and I realized that all of the Zodiac Academy series is on Kindle Unlimited, so I didn't have to pay again for it, which was so nice. And on the topic of Kindle, I wanted to do a little giveaway for my bookish girls, and I know less people typically watch my reading vlogs, so I thought we would do a secret little special giveaway for those of you that are watching. I have 2 exciting things that are going to be included. So first, let me give you what is in the giveaway. First, we have a Shark Flex Style. I love this thing. I alternate between this and my Dyson. What I love about the Shark is that it's super powerful. This is like the original Shark, so it has the curling attachment, the blowout attachment, the blow dryer, and like the more straightening, smoothing attachment. So this is the first thing. And then with it, you will also get a Kindle Paperwhite 16 gigabyte. This is the Gen 12 one. The only thing with this is that you will need an Amazon membership, which I feel like most people have. If you enter and you already have a Kindle, then you can give this to your mom or something. Gift it to a reader in your life and you would still get the Shark. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment down below telling me what is your favorite book of the year so far. Like, what is your top 5-star read of 2025 so far? I want to know because I genuinely want to put these on my TBR, or maybe I'll do like a video reading your 5-star read. And in the comment, make sure to leave your Instagram handle so that way I can DM you when I select the winner. You also have to be following me on Instagram and TikTok if you have both platforms. And make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. So the rules are simple. I can't wait to see what your responses are, and I can't wait to send this to one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have to run out the door. I'm literally filming this on my way out the door. So I love you all. I can't wait to see you in the next vlog. Thank you for your support.